Hello again, YouTube. Jake here with more Reading Too Much Into Things reviews of Doubotsu Sentai Jyuohgers and Kamen Rider Ghost. With Jyuohgers, we have a prelude to a more dramatic arc to come. And with Ghost, let's dive in with Jyuohgers episode 16, Jumen no Sagase. Find the Jumen. Our episode begins with Bulb and Cube arguing about who goes next, since the two would-be team leaders both were destroyed. However, Genus asks them to wait a bit longer, as Naria is helping him prepare for his turn. We cut to Mario's. Why do Mario's costumes disturb me so? And why do they draw so much attention to them? After playing, Mario heads out to practice being a cow. We jump to Yamato, still handing out flyers to find the Birdman, only to bump into a person in a rabbit suit handing out things as well. After not finding anything, we hear screams of terror, and we soon see why. Yeah, even if he wasn't attacking me, I'd scream in terror too. God, why? With the mouth so hidden and accenting the nose to the extreme, and then the anchor head head with the eyes set up. Dear Lord, there's even a mustache. Anyway, he kidnaps the person in the tiger suit as he was asked by Naria to hunt down Jumen, and is more than happy to because he loves her so deeply. 1. This monster side story gets a surprisingly large amount of use. The random, very laughable monster of the week that is in love with the lady commander. 2. It also seems to tie in with a very Japanese trope of those who show outward interest or lust for women are laughable figures who we should mock for how much effort they put into it. See Sanji from One Piece, Leo from Jyuohgers here, Issei from High School DxD, Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, so on and so forth. 3. Seriously? You're hunting for Jumen until you capture anyone dressed like an animal? You've seen what Jumen look like. Yes, to us the viewers, they're just actors with animal masks on their head. But by mistaking these guys for Jumen, you're indirectly drawing even more attention to just how really fake those masks and costumes look when we're supposed to believe they're the real thing. Anyway, back to the Silly Kids show. Yamato stops his kidnapping, the rabbit, and the rest of the team soon appears before the Matador and Naria escape. When searching for clues, Yamato finds what the others recognize as the tail of Mario's cow costume. How do you mistake him for not human? Yamato, as you might expect, is upset about this and wants to run off. The others are not helping because they're shouting that Yamato needs to calm down, with the result of Yamato shouting more. So yeah, we can confirm with this flashback to explain why Mario is so important to him that Yamato did have his parents when he was a child. Just, he argued a lot with them. Still no real story about who the parents were though. So, the team tries to think of a plan, and well, the plan they come up with works with how dumb the Death Galleon's operation is. Yamato putting on one of Mario's costumes and going the extra mile of pretending to be a chicken. Kinda wish he was Jyuoh Hawk at this point, then I could make some chicken hawk jokes. Oh well. He's captured, thrown in a cell alone, and lets his cube animal out to give the others directions before breaking himself out. As Naria scans the guys in suits, I think maybe I've got this wrong and it's a meta commentary on conquerors mistaking all those from cultures not their own as looking the same, but I doubt it. Once it's confirmed everyone isn't a Juman, they plan to kill them for knowing anything about the game, which Mario speaks out against. And while I make fun of how disturbing Mario is in his costumes and his animal play acting, we do see just how much Yamato, awesome nice guy that he is, does actually take after Mario in this pretty cool scene. Before any real harm can be done, Yamato transforms and saves those captured, telling Mario to get them to safety as he fights Naria and the player, Naria wielding her scanner as nunchaku, that are also blasters. Sure. It is nice to see a character who's there to make the monsters grow actually get into combat herself. Yamato is tossed out into an open fighting area and the rest of the team arrives shortly to help. However, it's a tricky match considering the Matador players teleporting, but Yamato catches on to the pattern soon enough, as they defeat him. And of course, I bet to the players' delight, Naria plops in, they continue, and he grows giant. How they beat him when giant is not important, so just know that they do. And so our episode ends at Mario's as he tells everyone just how cool Jyuoh Eagle is. And then a hard cut to 3 Juman hanging from chains before a caught and likely tortured human, before Genis takes out a cube that forces their life force into the human. Well, if you had 3 Juman, how did you mistake all those people for Juman? Especially Mario! Ugh. Anyways, this episode's stupid, but I do like when they try to set up a major storyline to come, even if the setup episode is dumb. Speaking of dumb, let's move on to Kamen Rider Ghost. We pick up right after the last 2 episodes, so we still have 39 days left, with episode 33, Kiseki, Mugen no Omae, Miracle, Infinite Feelings. Like I said, this episode picks up right after they finished last week's episode. Everyone returning to the temple, but no time to rest, as 2 Ganmeisers appear off in the distance. Specifically, the Flame and Gravity Ganmeisers. So of course the 3 riders henshin up, but again Takaru gets that paralyzing feeling, and Spectre's deep icon is acting up too, to the point where, when blasted off the cliff, suddenly Spectre is shallow instead of deep. What the hell? So yeah, their fight doesn't go too well. Not all helped when the Gravity Ganmeiser transforms into a black hole, and fuses its power with the flame, launching a swarm of black hole fireballs. Of course! For as we all know, when you put a flame into a black hole, you get... Wait, what? Because this move also burned some flowers, Daijab goes off into a rage, planning to use a self-destruct power he was tempted to use when fighting Takaru and Spectre before. Which I could have criticized, but as they point out later in the episode, it's only really not an option now because Daijab has a flesh and blood body. Which, considering that it comes from the Gamma world, actually makes it not a bad move to give someone whose core is an icon. Except if it did expel all the user's power in, I imagine, an explosion. I would think it would damage the icon core just as much as one of Takaru or Spectre's finishing moves, but that's nitpicking. And a bit unfair. So Takaru runs to pull him away before he can blow himself up, and Rider kicks the flame, which in turn gets all of his icons sucked up by the black hole, leaving him with only his Ore icon, the one that holds his soul. The Ganmeiser wastes no time in attacking Takaru. However, what does waste time is Takaru's icon shattering, since it does so only after Takaru gives a hero speech as opposed to, when it was attacked. Delayed much? So, yeah. Takeru's dead. Again. Doesn't even get a feathery portal to heaven this time, just disappears. Spectre, in response, uses the deep icon that wasn't working before, I guess, to destroy the black hole Ganmiser as well. Both stones returning to the Ganma world. And here's where I get nitpicky again. Brother Two Feathers refers to the fact that these stones, which restore themselves every time they're destroyed and become stronger when they do so, are the absolute embodiment of perfection. While I get what they mean in their use of that phrase, this is absolute bullpucky to me. As an absolute embodiment of perfection would, in my view, be something that could never be destroyed in the first place. What he has here is more an absolute embodiment of evolution, the idea that even after it dies, the species of that Ganmiser, as it were, remains and grows stronger from the version that is dying. Now that everyone's completely bored or enthralled with my cat, let's get to the overall meat of this episode. Everyone being sad that Takeru's dead. I am not kidding. Between this point and nearly the end of the episode, basically is just mourning and trying to move on over the fact that Takeru is dead. Which I'm of two minds about, since it's taking the death seriously, that's good, but makes the end of the episode just that much more frustrating.
タケルが消えた場所よ。何か残ってるかもしれないし。
アラン殿、どちらへ？残ったゲートを破壊する。俺も行こう。
Ah, Makoto-kun, where are you? Wait, you already said, never mind. Oh, we do get a shot of where Takeru is, so basically even Takeru mourning his death. Around the 5.5-minute mark of the morning, they do what too few Kamen Rider shows do. Have the non-writers try to figure out how to fight without the main writer. Akari even uses the tools she got the last couple of episodes to come up with her plan. And so, after some gate destroying, the next day, at the 7.5 mark of morning, not including an ad break, they set about their plan, which, as main writer lacking plans go, is pretty solid. Use the time-altering plasma on a Ganma gate, sending the Ganmiser, when hit into it, into another world other than the Ganma one. Too bad the Ganmisers just break through reality instead. So yeah, the team are pretty beaten up. However, they refuse to give up, because Takeru just meant so damn much to them, and, well...
When you're waiting for someone to magically get better all by themselves, the whole thing becomes about time.
Yep. Near exactly 13 minutes after everyone started mourning his death, Takeru comes back to life. And oh, here's the kicker. It seems he has another new power pulled out from his soul after dying, just like the other 2 times. But no, audience, you don't get to see it yet. That's right. The newest form that magically solves the problem that the 15 icons couldn't, nor science, is constantly covered in a bright CG light to save the reveal for the next episode. And good thing that black hole Ganmiser was just a portal black hole instead of, an object of such extreme density that gravity falls in on itself, crushing everything to the smallest size possible. Else, yeah, those icons would be destroyed. The end. Wow. Incredible damn wow. 13 minutes after the character's death, and he's back to life. And we don't even get to see what his newest form is. The heroes, without a main writer anymore to solve the problem, use the tools at their disposal that they've been building up through the episodes to solve the problem creatively. But instead of the enemies then figuring out how to challenge that, they just cheat out of that being a possibility on the same episode. And the thing that does solve the problem gets no actual oomph to it. It just... some explosions and CG light to obscure the costume and device. And he wins! It honestly makes me want to laugh at how damn incompetent this episode feels. Just... wow. Thank you for watching another episode of Reading Too Much Into Things Reviews. As next week, we get a new player in the death game for Jyuohgers, and we actually get to see Takeru's new form in Ghost. I'd say unless they spoil it in the opening, but in general, to be fair, Kamen Rider Ghost has been really good about not spoiling things in the opening. Which I bring up because in a lot of Japanese openings, that's a rarity. I'm Jake, this is Reading Too Much Into Things, and as always, stay safe. Hey. Oh, Master? Hmm? You wanna move, Master? Huh?